welcome to another video of Pilot Training. Okay, today with us, Capt Mamatha is here. She is the CFI of Flytech Aviation Academy in Hyderabad. So, I'm planning to discuss something with Captain regarding the flying and career and everything. Okay, so the first question is regarding her personal experience and all. Captain, can you just give a few words about your career as a pilot?
Well, I started my career obviously to become an airlines pilot, but during those days when I did my training, there were a lot of difficulties in India. There was no privatization, there were no private schools. We had only government schools, and the government schools used to have just 2 aircrafts each. Okay. And most of the time one was grounded. So we had only 1 or even 0 aircrafts to fly. So we had a lot of difficulty. It took me more than 5 years. I mean, I was lucky that I finished in 5 years, but there were several students who were taking more than 5 years, and the hours used to lapse, papers used to lapse. So because of all this, then I realized that why not I start a school in India which can help the Indian students, because most of the students were going abroad. Yeah. And there will be
now
so
also
many.
it is happening.
Now also it is happening, but then there are quite a lot of students. In fact, today I tell you, it is a disadvantage to go abroad rather than doing it in India. Those days, yes, there was a reason why they were going, is because flying was not happening much here. Delays were there. But here today, in the present situation, I would say that Indian students are doing faster than any other country. Yes. I'll tell you the reasons. See what happens if a student is going abroad. He will either pass the papers before going or after coming. Yeah, right. Then he has to pass his 3 papers plus RTR also. Yes, correct. Now if he doesn't pass his RTR, if he is converting the RTR from any other country, he still has to pass after some years. Yeah, because that is not a lifetime RTR. Yes. That they will differ only 1 year. Then again within that 1 year he has to pass his RTR. So I always suggest people that even if you plan to go abroad, please finish Red, Met, NAV and RTR. Only then you should think of going abroad. Children are in a hurry, you know, they always have a fancy to go abroad.
Actually, Captain, not the children, even the institutes who are conducting classes.
They're giving the wrong information to the students because they somehow want to send a student abroad because they get their commissions. Okay, mainly they are working on a commission basis. Yes. So they look only for their commissions, because if a student is waiting for RTR, it will take more time. So why that? So they are giving the wrong information to the students, saying that you go abroad, no need to pass any papers, you will get an American license valid everywhere. No, it is not. When you come back to India, first thing you have to understand that your career can start only in India as an airlines pilot. Indians will not be taken, fresh CPL students will not be taken in airlines by any other country. You have to start your career in India only. After you gain 3 to 4 years of experience, then you are saleable in the international market. Okay, till then, remember one thing, even if somebody tells you that you can go abroad and finish your flying, you can get a job there, no, they don't get a job there. That's the first thing. So when you have to come back and convert your Indian license, what will happen? You either have to pass your papers before going or after coming. The ideal way is do it before going. Red, Met, NAV and Technical General. Once you pass these 4 papers, then when you come back, you will finish the flying very fast. I mean, you will get a license, Indian license very fast. Otherwise, I know people, hundreds of students who have gone abroad and come back, who are sitting and now passing papers and spending another 1.5 years in India. Okay, so what is happening? What is the total period? By the time they have gone there, come back is minimum 2 years plus another 1.5 year here. So 3.5 years they are spending.
You can take it as 4 years itself.
4 years also. Yes. Every student who is coming back from abroad are saying, ma'am, we did a mistake by going abroad. Nobody guided us. Nobody told us anything about this. All agents told us, you go. We also went. My parents don't know, we don't know, we went. Now we realize after coming back, we have to do medicals, we have to have police verification, 10th verification, 12th verification, get a computer number. This itself is taking away their 4 to 5 months. Okay, whereas I am telling you, Indian students, I'll talk about my school. In Flytech, a student can finish the theory exams and flying all together in 18 months maximum. If he is sincerely there. I had students who finished in 12 months also. I had students who finished in 7 months, including the theory papers and flying. They were so diligent. They passed every paper in one attempt, and they didn't take like all papers in one go. Also, they passed 2 papers in one attempt. Still they finish their entire flying in 7 months. So which is excellent, I would say. I mean, much better than any other country. So I can say the minimum period my students took was 7 months. Good students took anywhere 12 to 14 months. Average students may take 2 years.
Yes.
Okay. So, but within 2 years, you're passing your papers, you're doing your flying, you're getting a CPL in hand.
Yeah, right.
Now, abroad, on an average, every child is spending 60 to 70 to 80 lakhs for a CPL.
For the CPL, yes.
Okay. When you're going, they will give you some rates. This much is your price. Trust me, every student ended up paying much more than what they were given in the beginning.
Correct.
So they are spending around 70-80 lakh rupees only for a CPL. Whereas Indian students are spending around 40 to 45 lakhs for a CPL. And then they can go abroad spending another 15 to 20 lakhs for their type rating. So in 60 lakhs, in that amount what you are spending for a CPL, you will do a CPL and a type rating in India. Okay, so the students have to look into this aspect. Because parents don't know. Parents go by whatever the students tell. Because majority of the parents are not from an aviation background.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
So my suggestion for any student is, India is an ideal place for flying. First thing, no need to go abroad. So my suggestion is that I would suggest students to do their training in India, because you will do it in a very reasonable money and a very reasonable time.
Sure.
Okay. See, in olden days, I do accept there used to be long time periods, but now it is not so. On an average, every school will finish in 2 years. Maximum you can say 2.5 years with some schools. But at the same time, you are taking even going abroad, which the students are not realizing. They are thinking we are doing it in 1 year. Nobody is doing it in 1 year. Everybody are taking 1.5 to 2 years to come back.
Ma'am, how about US and all US?
Even US, Australia, Canada, you go to any place, on an average time they are taking is 18 months to 2 years. Nobody is coming back in 1 year. This is just a myth people are carrying. Okay, plus your additional stay expenditure, everything is a big cost there. Okay?
Everything.
Now, the only advantage I can say abroad is you have very fancy airports, you can go land in different places. Yes, that no doubt about it. But is it worth such a big cost?
How about safety and all?
Safety, I will say 100% India is much more safer than any other country. Because in DGCA are so particular. Whenever the foreign students are coming and flying our aircrafts, they always say, ma'am, your aircrafts are so well maintained. There, ma'am, half the instruments are not flying and the aircrafts keep flying. This is the safety factor I am clearly telling you. Majority of the students say, ma'am, landing light is not working. They will say, okay, you fly in the night with a taxi light. This is how the maintenance is there in many of the schools abroad. But in India, DGCA is very strict. So I would say under DGCA, flying training schools are maintaining their aircrafts very much better than any other country.
Okay. Ma'am, and about your
so when I started, when I used to find like my seniors, my juniors, all mostly more than 100 students went off abroad to US only to do their flying. And those days we didn't have this where we had to pass the papers and all, this was not there. So they used to come back and convert the license. Only regulation paper had to be done, which they used to do before and go back. Come back and convert the license, and no check rides also in India that time.
Okay. Just come and
convert the license. So that was definitely attractive for me.
I think it was 1995.
No, I'm talking about from 88 onwards.
88.
Yeah. Now it took me 5 years to get my license in India. I did all my training in India.
When was that?
From 88 to 93.
Okay.
It took me 5 years to get my license because most of the time grounded aircrafts, no flying happening. So we used to wait for months together. We used to wait for flying. That made me start a school because I used to think why, and that was the time when privatization started.
Okay.
And I felt why not I start a school where I should have this kind of a facility where I can have the same time what people are giving abroad, I should be able to give it in India.
Okay.
Yeah,
Where are flying bases?
We have 2 bases, one in Nagargul in Hyderabad and one in Nagarjun Sagar, which is 150 kilometers from Hyderabad.
Okay.
I have chosen that because here Hyderabad airspace has become congested. We have Shamshabad Airport. Begumpet. So they are very crowded airports. So we for local flying we can do, but to get cross countries we are taking a lot of time to get clearances. So when we moved to Nagarjun Sagar, we are very happy there because we just give one call and we are getting a clearance. Whereas earlier we had to make 50 calls to get one clearance.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is the biggest advantage in Nagarjuna Sagar.
So Nagarjuna Sagar is privately owned by you?
Yes, yes. It is a state government airport, but completely given to us.
Yeah, you are this.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
okay. So it's your finance government?
Yes.
Throughout the day.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And may I know what the timeline of Flytech?
Generally, I can assure a student in 12 to 14 months.
No, I was asking about the history. Like when you were
we started way back in 94. So we are 30 years old now.
Oh, okay.
In 2024, we'll be
maybe the one of the oldest private.
Obviously, definitely, we are one of those. In fact, there was one school which started before me in Indore, which eventually closed down.
Okay.
So in South India, I was the first one to start.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I continued. There were many schools which started during my time, but they all closed down.
Yeah.
They closed. Many of them closed down.
Yeah.
But we were one of those few survivors who somehow managed and survived.
Okay. And you are conducting AME classes and drone
Yes,
classes?
we have AME training, drone training, then flying training.
Okay.
With that flying training is with everything.
And any other aviation courses?
No, presently only these courses.
Okay.
Yes. And we have for pilot training, we have ELP also in this.
ELP also,
Yeah.
okay.
So a lot of schools come to us for pilot training, for ELP to us.
For ELP, yes. Okay. And Captain, so about you have a lot of experience also. So what do you think about the approximate cost for doing pilot training in India?
In
From
India, it is
airlines?
initial. See, I'll tell you. Now, there are 3 levels here.
Yeah.
One is a CPL.
Yeah.
One is a CPL. So as of now, if you say in Flytech, it will be around 43 to 45 lakhs it will cost you. Okay. Now, maybe some other schools are charging 50 lakhs like that.
Okay.
Now, the second level comes is, so let us keep on a thumb figure around 50 lakhs. Let's keep, okay, in India. Now, after that is a type rating. Type rating will be again another 15 to 20 lakhs.
Okay.
So,
some institutes are giving at around 8 to 10 lakhs also.
Don't go for that. Don't go for that. Okay. No, there's no school which gives now in the present situation. There's no 9 lakhs type rating.
I used to see many ads from South Africa, Dubai.
My suggestion, even Dubai, there are good organizations. On any good organization will charge you not less than 15 lakhs.
15 lakhs,
Yeah.
okay.
So even in your stay, your everything together, maximum I can put it 15 to 20 lakhs.
20 lakhs, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That is one part. Second part. Now the third part is joining airlines.
Okay.
So airlines have different ways of taking you.
Okay.
They can either take you on a CPL level and then send to type rating through them. Though you will be paying for the type rating, but airline sends you.
Okay.
In fact, that is a much better way because your job is assured and you know that after doing this type rating, you are in the airlines. Now, suppose say you do a type rating of a A320 and come back.
Yeah.
Now, you can't join a Boeing aircraft.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So, your jobs become limited. You have to join only those airlines which have this aircraft.
Yes.
So, I always used to suggest in the past also that wait for a while. If possible, try to join with the CPL to the airlines and do the type rating through the airlines.
Okay.
But there was a stage in between where airlines wanted very fast, quick pilots. So airlines was taking all the type rated people. In the process, what happened? All students started doing type rating on their own.
Okay. Yeah.
But now airlines is taking both. They are taking type rated also. They are taking CPL also.
Okay. So that is the cost. You can say it as 50 to
20 is for type rating.
Yeah.
And then what happens is airlines again is taking some money either in the form of a deposit or a one-time payment.
Okay.
Now that may vary anyway from 30 lakhs to or 25 lakhs to 50 lakhs.
Okay. It depends on the
It depends upon airlines. Some airlines are treating it as a one-time payment. Some are treating it as a deposit which will be refunded after 5 years, that bond period.
Yeah.
That is what
As a contract.
As a contract.
Okay. Okay.
So overall, I would say any parent should be minimum prepared for 1 crore for this profession if you want to be in airlines.
Yes.
Now the other way round. Suppose say the student has got only 50 lakhs.
Yeah.
He wants to do a CPL. What is his career after that if he doesn't join airlines? Nothing, no?
Yeah, right.
With a CPL, we can't do any other odd job. My suggestion for them is, I do have a lot of students. Every year, I will have 5 to 6 students whom I pick up them as an instructors.
Okay.
I give them instructor training. I make them instructors in my school.
Okay.
And they will fly for at least 2 to 3 years with me and then join airlines. During that time, they are earning money. They are getting hours, which is their experience is increasing. So most of the time what happens, airlines take 1,000 hours people directly.
Okay.
So they can skip lot of things. The written exam is not there. So many things are not there for them.
Due to this experience.
So I can say on an average, every 3-4 years, one batch goes into airlines. My instructors. This has been my past history, like last 30 years, I can say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll be sponsoring for the instructor?
Generally, we sponsor, but we do deduct it from their salaries as when we are paying. Slowly. So which is not a burden for us.
Yes. And Captain, one thing I missed actually, like from US and all when you do flying, people are saying like you'll be getting spin and spin recovery. So what do you think about that?
Okay.
Is it required for commission?
See, no. See, basically spin recovery had been a part of CPL in many countries even today. But as a CFI, I would also say it is not the important thing for a CPL, especially when you are becoming a commercial pilot. Under no stage you will ever put a commercial aircraft into a spin and recovery.
Yeah, right.
That's first thing. Second thing is, why a spin and recovery was always taught was that when you are doing a stall, suppose you have a wing drop stall. When you're dropping the wing and you're unable to recover, it may go into a spiral down, or it may go into a spin. How you should recover? So basically here we are teaching them all that. We do teach all the type of stalls and we teach them how to recover also. So when we are teaching that, the spin and recovery is not a very important factor for us at the CPL level. Yeah. So I would say that some exercise which is not so essential need not be there. So it was there in the past, which DGC removed it way back, more than some 25 years back, or even 30 years. Probably when I was a student, this was removed.
Okay. And I heard like I think you also told me the same, like the accident chances are far more in spin recovery.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the reason why it was removed.
Yeah. So it is better you
better to be more safer, and what was happening is like they should be well trained. Even instructors have to be extremely trained to recover from spin. Okay, yes. Demonstrate and recover. So this is more done in Air Force because for them it is a requirement.
And one more thing, I think like even if you are doing this spin recovery in Cessna 152, it is not the same, and it is not the same as applicable in Airbus 320.
They cannot. They can never apply it. Second thing, what happens is not all aircrafts are capable of aerobatics. Okay, yes. So that is also one of the reasons why we don't recommend a spin. Yes. Only an aerobat aircraft is recommended.
And Captain, many of the parents who are planning to send the students for pilot training, they are concerned about the safety in the field, like safety in the training part,
yes,
and safety in the flying part.
Very nice. This is obviously a question for any parent. Yeah. I would say you have to think of two things. What when you are driving on the road, what is your safety factor? You take out a car or a bike without even seeing whether you have enough fuel and oil in that.
Yeah, just come start and
they just start and take off. Yeah. Airplanes are not like that. Airplane, every day it is certified by an engineer that it is fit for flying. He opens up the cowling, he checks everything, then only he puts it back and gives us for training. Okay, so without engineer certifying every day, we can't fly. So this much of safety is not there in any other profession, I would say. Okay. Now, why I say this? You can go on Google and check out that how many accidents in the whole world are happening and how many students have died because of air training factor. It will be minuscule. It will be very minuscule.
Most of the times it is due to pilot error itself.
No, even if it is pilot error, how many times such pilot errors have happened? Hardly anything. If you see today, the number of road people who have died on a single day in road accidents across the country, let's say across the country, I'm sure it's not less than 500, 600 minimum.
That will happen in
per day. Per day and day. This 500, 600 may happen in a decade in aviation. But
with millions of people traveling.
With millions of people traveling every day, so many routes, so many countries, so many aircrafts. Today now more than 2 lakh aircrafts are in US alone. You know, when US, if they have to bring back all the aircrafts onto the ground, US airports are not sufficient to put them on ground. They have to go and land in some other countries.
Okay.
Will you know when September 11 happened, when our Twin Towers were attacked? They had to go to Mexico and other countries to land the aircrafts because all airports became full.
Just to park.
They were literally parking on a taxi track, on any piece of land they had, they were parking it. That means at any point of time, so many are in the air.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So that vast is aviation in some countries like US. In India also, it is really growing a lot. You will be changing huge difference in next 1 decade. Lot of airports are coming up. Lot of airlines are coming up. Present airlines are also continuously adding aircraft. So there's a huge manpower requirement.
Yes. And that is a part of our job scope also.
Yes. See, earlier we used to be scared whether we'll get a job or not.
Yes.
They're spending this much of money. But I can say next 1 decade nobody has to worry for jobs.
And what all can happen to stop a student from getting a job?
If he is well prepared, only his preparedness. What is happening, why students don't get a job, I'll tell you. Student starts preparing for his CPL papers. That time he is very sincere. He is studying, he is passing his papers.
Yes.
The moment he passes 2 to 3 papers, he becomes overconfident. You might have seen this in 90% of the students, that they become overconfident and they take 1 year to pass the balance 2 papers.
Yeah, definitely. Many students.
Many students, this is what is happening.
Yeah.
Now, the moment they pass that papers, then they feel we have got a CPL in hand now. They are big heroes now. Now they don't touch the books.
Yeah, right.
They are only busy flying.
They won't even read a magazine.
They won't read anything. Okay. Now they will be only flying. Once the flying is over, they get a CPL.
Yes.
Now, assuming the moment they have a CPL in hand and airlines ad has come up, that is within 1 month they have to write the exam.
Yeah.
Is 1 month sufficient to prepare all the subjects again?
Never.
No. Only those students, I can say in my school also, I will have only 20-30% of the students who are all the time with books. All the time means all the time. Even after passing the papers, they are continuously studying, because remember one thing, you are not coming to a school only for a CPL. Your aim is airlines.
Yeah.
So if you continue your aim to airlines, then you will have 100% make it into airlines. But if you are thinking only CPL papers over, I am a big hero now, no, you will not get into airlines. So I tell the students, after passing the papers, continuously keep studying. So even if tomorrow there is an exam, you should be prepared for it.
You should be prepared, yes.
That should be the level of preparation, and 100% you will make it in the first attempt. Otherwise, what is happening? They are missing the attempts, and the same people will later sit and study. Then they will make it, but they lost a couple of attempts. No?
Yeah.
Why unnecessarily lose attempts?
Yes. And what can happen in career to lose the flying opportunity?
Yeah, I tell you. Again, I keep telling this example to all my students. I tell, see, any parent, any student comes up to me and says, ma'am, there are 4,000 unemployed pilots. There are 5,000 unemployed pilots. I said, going forward, you may have 10,000 unemployed pilots, because a lot of people are choosing this field. But remember one thing, if you are a good student, if you are continuously studying with your books, your competition is only in 500 people.
Yeah.
Because only out of 5,000, only 10% people are studying hard for the airlines. Rest 90% are relaxing and sleeping. So your competition is not there at all with them.
Yeah.
Your competition will be only in that 500. If you are good, you are in that and you will make it.
Yes.
Now this rest 90% people, they will lose attempts. Then after 2-3 attempts, then they realize, okay, my friend made it, I didn't make it. Then they will sit and study. By then they have lost 6 months, 1 year.
Yes.
What they see, I can only tell you one thing. With a CPL, you can either become an instructor, continue flying, or you go to airlines. With a CPL, you will not get any other job. We have to understand that. So the purpose of a CPL is airlines. Don't defeat your purpose by relaxing after CPL. Nobody can help them.
Yeah. How about NSOPs?
See, NSOPs also nowadays, what happens is, there are a lot of people who are coming from Air Force.
Oh, okay.
Who flies in NSOP, sir? The elite people who are having charters. Who will charter an aircraft by spending 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs for one flight? Very elite people, right? Will you not look for the very safe pilots?
They will always choose airline pilots.
They
Sorry,
want
Air Force pilots.
either airlines people, retired from airlines, or from Air Force, who are having more than 5,000, 6,000 hours of flying minimum. So even a charter company wants to keep their aircrafts very safe, because their aircrafts are very expensive aircrafts. They are like 200 crores, 150 crores aircrafts.
Yeah.
So they don't want to give it in an avaricious hand.
10-seater will be costing as much as a 320.
Yeah. So they don't want to give it in an avaricious hand. The major chance of a student to get into is, first is airlines, second is instructor, Other things we have like Border Security Force, BSF is taking, Coast Guard is taking. There you do.
But,
I do have some students who have joined Coast Guard and BSF.
But those pay scale will be very less, right?
They are government pay scales. But the advantage is they are giving you type rating.
Okay.
And you build hours, then you are giving us short-term employment. They are working for 5 years, 7 years, and
But I
coming
have
out.
a minor concern with that also. Most of the government helpers, they are also some age-old helpers, right?
Need not be. I say even Dorniers, what Dorniers they are flying are very good. The Coast Guard Dorniers, you should see, they are very good. They are very good. Yeah, very well maintained.
Okay. Captain, I have seen some of my friends also. They have already joined NSOPs as administrators. But of course,
very few. If you see that, if you have some known connections, this, that, and all, maybe you may get it.
Yes. And Captain, one major question. Many parents or parents of female children, they are very much concerned about the safety of females in this industry.
I'll tell you one thing. As a girl child, wherever the parents are there, where they have their girl children, they are worried about a girl children's safety in every career, not only this career. The safety of a girl, whether she's a doctor, whether she's a nurse, whether she's an engineer, even if she's a software engineer, where you're sitting on the floor with 100 men, yet the safety is not guaranteed. Because we are seeing all these kind of news in the media, right? So definitely they'll be worried. But to a large extent, I can say that I can't assure this to every school, every instructor. But now things have changed a lot, unlike olden days. Now the girls speak out. The girls come out and say, I had problem with this guy in the cockpit.
Yeah.
And see, I'm one of the few lady instructors who are there in the country, and I'm a chief line. I'm the first chief line instructor in the country.
I think only the one.
Yeah. So far. But however, no, there's one more girl who had come up in it much later.
Okay.
So what happens is, if there's a CFI as a woman, definitely they're very open to come up and tell her. But every school will not have, no? Every school not. However, I always advise the girl children, be vocal. You should not take nonsense from anybody.
Yes.
Okay, whether it is known people, unknown people, you should be vocal in telling it. And you will get a help. Yeah. If you don't tell and you keep suffering, then nobody can help you. Yeah. Even your own mother can't help you if you don't come and discuss that with your mother.
She's not knowing anything.
She's not knowing anything. How can we can't keep cameras inside the cockpit and watch what they are doing. That is not possible. That's not possible that we watch every flight what there. It's not possible. So I always tell the girl's child, whichever profession you choose, you should know how to behave yourself and you should draw your lines. If somebody is approaching you, be open in telling, I am not for this. And if you still find they are still taking forward steps, take it to the next concern. Be very vocal, be open. That is the way a girl child has to be brought up. Because it's not just here, no? Tomorrow they are going to be in airlines.
Yes.
Everywhere this problem is there. So we should know how to take it and how to handle these situations. Yeah.
And Captain, one more thing. There are two pathways. Commercial pathway is there and cadet program is there. What do you suggest?
I suggest always a convention, because now the present growth in airlines is a lot. The same airlines who is conducting cadet program also need pilots. So that's why they are taking even from general market.
Yeah,
right? So the requirement is very huge.
Okay.
So, but when you take a cadet program, it is becoming very expensive. Very expensive.
But
almost 1.25 to 1.5.
Recently, Indigo has come up with the 88 lakhs program.
How much?
88 lakhs, I think.
I'm not very sure on that.
Yeah.
I'm not very sure.
If the cost is getting down, then
no problem, go for it.
Cost is
Because that is the cost wise, only the cost. Because the cadet program is assuring your job. Mainly.
Anyway, if the job market is there, but why should
so because if somebody is paying me 1.25 against a 70 lakh rupees, then I won't suggest that.
Yeah. Yeah, if there is only a marginal difference, then we can.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. And can you just give some step-by-step advice for becoming a pilot as of now?
See, I would always tell the student, please start your ground classes and flying simultaneously in the present situation.
Okay.
Because you will be able to finish both of them in 1.5 years time.
Okay.
Even less than that also if you're a good student, if you're able to pass papers in time. Okay? So what will happen is now since there is a huge requirement, we should do the CPL at the earliest and have license in hand. So my suggestion is that for the students. Now people who still want to go abroad, I would only say, please pass your RED, MET, NAV and your RTR. Only then you go abroad. Don't go without that. Have your police verification in place. Have your SPL and FRTO R before going. Once you have all this, I can say that within 1 month you will get a license when you come back. Otherwise, there are students who are waiting for more than 1 year for conversion.
Conversion itself. Okay. So that is the best.
Yeah.
So any other suggestions or something for the
That's it. See, today I would say that this is an excellent profession for people to choose. And wherever they are going from, they should know what is the requirement of a CPL first thing and how to go about. Because why I am telling you, people who went abroad are doing 380 hours of flying, whereas we do for 200 CPLs. And they have done 380 hours, still they did not complete the Indian requirements.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And they come up here and do another 60-70 hours to finish the Indian requirements.
Okay.
What sense does it
make?
In
Canada and all, they are giving you 250 plus hours.
Yes. Even then, they are not finishing the Indian requirement. Because some students tell me, ma'am, we keep telling them, but they say, no, this is our requirement, we'll do our requirement.
What is the
This is nonsense, absolute nonsense.
No point.
Because you're spending so much of money. You spent 80 lakh, 90 lakh for a CPL. Again, you have come here and again spending 10, 15 lakhs. What sense does it make? And I can assure you one thing, I have seen the standards of the students who are coming from abroad. They are no better than any Indian student.
Okay.
The standards are no better than any Indian student.
So they need further brush up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. In fact, I keep scolding them a lot. I said, you have done 350 hours, what did you do?
Do you think it is like overlogging or something? Maybe?
It's not the question of overlogging, it's kind of a carelessness by a student himself. And let me tell you, any authority for that matter, suppose a student is going and doing a flying in US. The school knows that this guy is not going to have his career in US.
Oh, okay.
So for him, there's no responsibility.
True.
He will say, okay, take aircraft, go, log your hours.
That's it.
They keep doing flying. So there is no much of a...
They are not studying anything new.
They are not studying. Even flying is so liberal that what flying they are doing also these people are not watching. They are simply logging hours. They are flying. I am not saying any fake logging or anything like that. Now things have become much better. But even the normal flying, if somebody is doing, what are the mistakes they are doing? This needs a constant vigil on the students. Which I can make because they are huge schools. They are like having 70-80 aircrafts and they are having 300 students. What kind of a personal attention you can get? Very difficult, very difficult.
Yes. And maybe the CFA is not going to know the student even.
They'll not know, there'll be 10 CFIs, so the systems are so vast that it gets diluted. This gets diluted.
Right. And Captain, I have seen some programs in Canada and all with ATPL. They will be giving CPL plus 1,500 hours of experience. Do you think it is worth? Because I think like they are giving piston engine hours only.
See, that's what I'm saying. Instead of that, you rather become an instructor.
Okay.
What is the use of your frozen ATPL with piston engine hours of simply doing the solo hours, or you're doing ferry hours, or they're just doing some contract hours there. They keep flying the aircrafts for some other work. But what is the use of that? You rather do an instruction, at least you are becoming an instructor.
Okay. So instead of that, they should come back to India and get the license.
Yes. Even if they want to do an instructor there also doesn't matter. Become an instructor and fly there.
Okay.
It's still worth it.
Got it.
But again, I saw recently that a lot of students have come back because even if they become an instructor there, they're not getting jobs because they are not green card holders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Captain, some students are interested in doing flying from South Africa, Indonesia, and Philippines.
From any country.
So means they're thinking it is cheap. But when the figures come out, I don't think
I didn't find anything cheaper. It is no cheaper than India. No cheaper than India. It would be the same or more, but not less than India.
Yeah. Anyway, they have to after that they have to come back.
Again, have to come back here.
What do you think about the Canadian programs? Like they are offering part-time jobs also.
That may help a little for their living there. A part-time job can help them little money to earn little money for a living expenditure.
I have seen some students like they join for a part-time job. After that, the part-time job will become a full-time.
Full-time.
And the flying will be a part-time job.
Because what these students have done is some of them make this as a way to go abroad.
Oh, okay.
See,
but then why should they pay this much and then go?
So what they do, they don't pay the whole thing also. They pay part of the payment, they go there. Then for 1.5 years they are doing part-time jobs and full-time jobs, earning money. Either they pay from that money for the flying, you know, or they feel, I'm earning this much of money, I'll keep extending my course.
Okay.
So they keep extending the course to 4 years, 5 years also. That is also
maybe 20. Okay. Okay. So
nowadays even the embassies don't keep renewing your visas under such conditions. Then you end up staying illegal, which is not good.
Yeah. Once caught, you will be getting an additional case also.
Yes. They will send you deport.
Okay. So I think that's all for today. And when are your new batches starting and how many students will be?
See, we always take a very reasonable batch of 40. We don't take more than 40 students. Okay.
At any point of time, 40 students will be there.
And that is because I feel that when they are with me, they should get continuous flying. So that is the main purpose. And that's why I'm assuring like they can finish it in 1.5 years time.
Okay.
And so at I will be turning out like 15-20 people pass out and another 15-20 people coming.
Okay.
That's how.
And will there be any entrance exam or something? If the
there is no
come with
entrance.
the exams?
There is no entry exam. Once they pass the papers, we take them directly. And otherwise, we have a batch which is doing ground school and flying both simultaneously. So both ways we have people.
Okay. The student is running the exams, then he can join any time also. Right?
Yes, and for such students, we will be having a little bit of a revision classes which are more required for the practical flying.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Because they generally get little rusted if they're coming after a year or so.
And about the hostel facilities and food?
We have hostel, we have the food, in-house hostel at both the locations we have.
Okay. Yeah.
I won't say a very hi-fi hostel, but a reasonably good hostel.
Yeah, that's what required for.
No, because I don't find, because see, even for this reasonable hostel, we are charging 15,000 per month. Okay, and that's almost our cost price. You may get, see, here also we are providing them an AC rooms. Okay, and 2 people in each room. So beyond that, I don't think we should think of spending more than that for the stay.
Right. And only transit from hostel to
our transportation.
Yeah.
We have.
And what if the student wants to stay by himself?
Generally, I am not permitting that for a reason, because they keep ganging up and spending odd hours there. Even the hostel people will go and sit there. We will not have a control on the people who are staying outside.
Okay.
And then they resort to wrong things and all. So why get into that?
What if the student is from Hyderabad itself?
So if they're staying with the parents, most welcome. If they're coming, staying, nothing like staying with the parents.
Okay.
But if they're not with the parents, then they have to be in the hostel.
Okay, got it.
See, sometimes I had parents also, they would come and say, ma'am, we will stay, we have taken a house and my wife is going to stay, my husband is going to stay. All this can happen only for a month or 2. Nobody can come and
After that, they will just go back.
So that's the reason why I said, if you are from Hyderabad, if a student is a Hyderabad student, let him come from home, I have no problem. But if he's non-Hyderabad student, even parents are not allowing that. Because I faced a lot of problems with the students. You know, midnight I'll get a call, your student is here on the road, this accident happened, that accident happened. Then I have to rush there. Now the parents will come only after 24 hours minimum. But who has to take care is we. So that's the reason why I say like I prefer them staying in the hostel.
And what if the student is someone aged like 30 plus or something?
Even that we are providing a single accommodation for them.
Okay.
Even for them we are providing a single accommodation. So that they don't have to stay with a youngster of 18 or 20 years.
Okay. And Captain, about the other courses you are doing like drone training and
yes. Drone training is 1 week program and with that they get a license to fly the drones. And this now has become very popular, as you are aware, that it is being used in many places, right from survey to spraying and all that. So yes. So and also now any drone operator should have his license. So I would always recommend whoever wants to think of getting a drone license. Even for drone license, one advantage of here is that you are in one place only. Like once you reach us, Your accommodation, your training, everything is in one place.
Included.
Yeah, so everything is in one place. So you don't have to travel, no extra expenditure.
Okay. And about the AME program?
AME is a 3 years program, and let me complete the CPL also. CPL, we are giving a degree program also along with it.
Oh, okay.
BSc Aviation.
BSc Aviation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you can ask me, BSc Aviation is a 3 years, and how come they finish in 1.5 year? They will finish the CPL in 1.5 year, but they will keep coming and writing the exams after that also to continue their degree. Similar is the AME course, but AME we have even AME DGCA program is 3 years, and BSc Aviation for AME is also 3 years. So they will be doing both the courses simultaneously.
And what will be the cost for this AME program approx?
I think in my institute it is costing close to 8 lakhs.
Close to 8 lakhs. With this BSc Aviation? Or
No, BSc Aviation is 45,000 every year.
Okay.
That is the year.
Okay. And are there students just for BSc Aviation?
No. We are taking only for the dual program.
Okay, got it. Okay, I think that's all for now.
That's it for now.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so shall we wind up the video, and we'll be in touch with Captain Mamatha. You can post your doubts in the in the comment box, and we'll be replying on that also. Thank you.
If required, then you can even give my number to them.
Sure.
And my only request with all the audience who are watching me, don't call me, please send a text, and I will reply your text.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.